In a recent video on Jerome, Roman Catholic author Gary Michuta commented on Jerome's Hebrew veritae standard for what Old Testament books belong in the canon. Gary stated it wasn't merely on limiting books originally written in Hebrew, since Jerome was aware of deuterocanonical books like Sirach originally written in Hebrew. But rather, Gary stated Jerome rejected the Deuterocanon because they were not part of the Hebrew Bible of the Jews.
Reject these books because they were doubted. He rejected these books because they weren't part of the Hebrew text that he got from the rabbis, the rabbinic text. And therefore, they're spurious. They're not true.
Despite Gary recently arguing on Capturing Christianity that Jerome changed his mind on the canonicity of the Deuterocanon, in this video Gary conceded he isn't absolutely positive Jerome changed his mind on the canonicity of the Deuterocanon because there, quote, isn't a lot of evidence this happened, end quote.
Absolutely positive. Case that Jerome did change his mind? No, I can't say I'm absolutely positive. Just because I'm a nerd and I need a lot of evidence to say I'm absolutely positive this happened.
Perhaps this is why Gary flip-flopped on his position, something he rebuked Jerome and Luther of doing on the status of the Deuterocanon, which Gary eventually conceded to Cameron Bertuzzi, quote, it's generally believed Jerome doesn't change his mind, end quote, even though he, William Albrecht, and David Saras, quote, argue to the contrary and finally admits, quote, I don't know.
Is talking about him widening his view of the canon late in life or something like that. But even the
Is that true? Does no one talk about him widening his canon?
Well, yeah,
ahead,
I mean, generally it's thought that Jerome doesn't change his mind, but actually we argue to the contrary. So I think probably in scholarly circles, I don't know.